Hello, welcome to Steps to Developing Portfolio Ideas. This is such an important part of what you do next. There's so many ideas and so many things you can do. And so the process of breaking down from brainstorming to enhancing to actually writing out an idea in detail is a process that I suggest you do, and I suggest you do often as you work on your photographic projects. So there are many ways to develop your ideas for your portfolio. So we reviewed all the things you've made. Now we have to look at the steps of making your portfolio ideas live in the present. And so here's some steps. First one I really recommend is your print viewing wall. You need a place to see new work, as to live with old work, a place that you put things up and you stop to look at least once a day. One of the things I recommend you consider, we have these in our house. These are picture ledges that you can create a wall with. And we actually have a wall. We painted the ledges to match the wall, so when there's nothing on them, they're pretty blended. But we can put up a framed print, we can put up a matted print, and even if it's a heavy-duty paper, we can put up prints along the ledge, step back, look at them, talk about them. Since my husband and I are both photographers, we do that quite a bit, and live with them as we go through our everyday life. So these ledges are really helpful if you have a space you can do that. Another option you might consider are magnet walls. You can get a regular bulletin board with push pins, but a lot of times people don't want to put pins through their pictures. And I find I have this right behind my computer desk, and I tag things on it, pictures and poems and ideas, and then it really helps. You can put more than one of them and sort of build them up to create a little area that you can magnet pictures. Really, really cool. If you watch James Knockway's film War Photographer, he actually has a whole wall of cabinets that are covered in metal, and he magnets pictures up on there. It was very inspiring to see. Okay, so the next thing is we need to brainstorm ideas. And I think this is a journal exercise that you could do each day. Write 1 or 2 or 3 ideas down. You won't do every idea. There's not that much time in life, but sometimes just getting the ideas out let you find which ones are lasting and find which ones you really want to do. And so I recommend you write down 12 ideas. Right now. Pause the video and write it down right now. So, secret gardens, lost and found, the idea of facing where our work might end up, Journey to World Heritage as a book, written on stone, rock art, Some Wounds Don't Heal, iPhone blendings using each day, or a 360 project that follows up on my Skies for Mom. The old camera projects where we use old cameras to take pictures and then put the cameras with the pictures. A larger project on Yosemite, on street photography in San Francisco, on round shot portraits, and on China. All possibilities, and there are so many more. Okay, the next part is important, and this is to take the strongest of these ideas, or maybe the most relevant right now for what you're doing, and pull it out to go and expand on it. Not so much. I mean, I'm only asking for 2 sentences, but the examples here are pretty strong. The Ansel Adams photographs, which could be a literal inspiration, while Walt Whitman's Leaves of Grass could be abstract. The idea, if you've ever seen Ansel Keefer's work, the way his texture and power would inspire my landscapes and a larger book project. So as you're looking at this, you really want to be very thoughtful. I could take written on stone, and I could be inspired with that, with something that was maybe very different, like a poem by Terry Tempest Williams, or an essay by Terry Tempest Williams, who's someone I'm very interested in right now as a writer. So that would be another way that you could tie things together. There may be multiple things that inspire it. There could be a photographic and a painting and a poem. And so really spend some time on this. And then your last bit is to actually expand one idea. You want to take one idea and really write about it in detail. You want to consider media. That's whether you're going to do inkjet or silver or carbon or cyanotype. And you can consider what you wish, even if you end up doing something different. Your ideas, the format, will it be little, a book, miniature, large? Uh, will there be video involved? What's your presentation? How do you imagine? This is really about dreaming your portfolio into existence. And as I look at my different projects on my website, I think about how certainly the Journeys to World Heritage project has grown over time. And I've written about it, I've shown it, then I've photographed some more. I've done this project both in color and in black and white aspects. And someday I'm going to pull those two aspects together. And then with my collaborator, my husband, Gary Ordall, I will do yet another blending of his work and my work from these different spaces. But the idea of this is that at each point I stop and I create a portfolio of this work that will fulfill a sense of wholeness, even as it becomes part of a larger whole. And so sometimes you'll have to make projects that won't be totally done. There'll be ideas that you're just starting on, and you bring them to a short closure. I think something like Ironworks, for those of you that work in color, this was a project that was very inspiring to me. But it was really a very short time that I was at this space. We spent a day and a half in this very amazing Ironworks factory, and it was such an intense photographic time that I really felt it was worthy of pulling out a small portfolio. If I wanted to make a larger portfolio, yes, I'd probably have to return and explore more in depth. But I was able to create what was a very satisfying group of work that related together and move my work in terms of abstraction and color to another level. Certainly, the one poem books have a similar thing, as do the conversation series books. As we look at those, you'll see that they each have they're still consistently my work, but they have a focus and they were inspired by something. So I use this myself in my work. So really spend some time with this idea of expanding the idea. You take notes, you dream, and start working forward on your portfolio idea. As we have our one-on-ones, you want this form to be completed in as much detail as you can and posted in Etudes. And I thank you so much for being here.